What's up, everybody? It's me, Erika, and we are down here. Girl, 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 girl. I was just listening to Good Mom, Bad Choices with the episode with Corinne Steffens, Elisabeth OVESEN. Girl, when I tell you, it literally sounds like I'm listening to myself. Like her, I girl, I just listened to her say that she cannot stand when men start talking. She gets angry. She doesn't want to hear them talk. I don't want to hear. I don't shut up. I don't want to hear nothing you have to say. Girl, she just said, I don't want to hear nothing a man has to say. I don't care about your opinion. When a man starts talking, I get angry. When I tell you I felt seen, and then earlier she was like, I wish I could shake y'all. And I'm like, girl, it really sounds like me, even down to her opinions about having babies and being single mothers and not. They're on this part where she's saying don't run after men for child support, like don't be in court fighting over $300 when you know that you trying to make this man take care of his child. Girl, like that, the same way. I'm not calling you for nothing. The minute you start contributing money, you think you have a say over something, keep it. I don't want it. I don't want it. I don't want no drama, baby. I'm trying to I'm trying to get my God, just be getting up. I could have really paused it. You know what I'm saying? I really could have paused the video. I'm putting my earbuds away. Where is it? Where are my earbuds? I do need some. I do need a little bit of. I can't find my little oil. I had some oil. What is this? This is some lotion. I'll put my lotion on here. Okay. And just listening to her, it really sounds like me talking. You know. Um, she's a Virgo. We actually share the same birthday, ironically. And I saw her son's name before. My firstborn son and her firstborn son have similar. At first, I thought they had the same name, but then when I got this new version of Video Vixen, her son's name is different. So I don't know if that was intentional to kind of like have his identity. But I've never seen her oldest son. Yeah, so I'm on the part where she was saying that when men talk, she gets angry because she doesn't want to hear anything they have to say. I don't want to hear your opinion on anything. Listen, I'll let you hear this part. Hold on.
And so everyone has their own journey.
It's
I just
sped
don't
up.
like men's opinions on anything, especially the raising of. I don't want their input on anything.
And if you take their money, then you have to.
Then there's input, and I don't want input and journey. I just don't like men's opinions on anything, especially the raising of. I don't want their input on anything.
And if you take their money, then you have to.
Then there's input, and I don't want input, and
unless
that's
you have
just
full custody.
Me. That's just me. I don't want input. I don't need you. I don't need your money. I don't need it. So there's that. We're good, and I don't want the input on anything. If I ask a question,
their money, then you have to.
And to go to this school, I don't give a fuck what you think. Like, I'm that person. So that's just me, though. Like, I'm super me, though. Like, so everybody else has their own thing. I don't like men. When men start talking to me, I'm not gonna lie. When men start talking to me, I get angry. Like, shut the fuck up on everything.
On everything.
Me.
But that's just me. That's just me. When I tell you I relate to so many things, like so many things that she says, I say them down here. So many things, so many like opinions that she has on things, I share her opinion. It's so weird. It's so weird. There's so many similarities between her and I. It is the craziest thing, but we are born on the same day. On the same birthday. We have the same birthday. I think she's a year younger than me. I think she is a year younger than me, maybe 2 years younger than me, I believe. But our firstborn sons' names are very similar. And just so many of her opinions. As I'm just listening to her, I'm on the second episode of Good Mom, Bad Choices podcast. And I was going to wait until they released it to YouTube, but I was like, I'll just pay for the month and they can get my little $14. I think it was $14 or something like that. or 7, I don't know how much it was to join their Patreon, but I really wanted to hear this interview with Elisabeth OVESEN, aka Corinne Steffens, aka some, who gave her that name, Superhead, somebody gave her that name. And I really get annoyed when people call her that, like, because a man gave her that. That's not her name. A man gave her that nickname, and it, traveled with her throughout throughout her time in LA or whatever. um Even down to her keeping like her roster. She recycles the same dick over and over again. Like, she spins the block. Like, she doesn't add new people to her roster. Also, putting yourself first, being in shape to rescue yourself. That was on the first episode, which when I think about working out, I think about preparing for the zombie apocalypse. That's why I was like, a lot of the things that she's saying, like, she's like being able to rescue yourself physically. So, like, for instance, if something fell on you, would you be able to lift it up off of you? Would you be able to push yourself up, like use your own body weight? That's why I do body weight exercises. I was like, everything she's saying is like right on point. Doing body weight exercises, like calisthenics type exercises, so that just using your own body weight to build strength and endurance and flexibility. What else was she saying? Let me see. Oh, men lying about sleeping with her. How she over like when she finally got autonomy, how she overcorrected and was doing the most when she should have went to therapy first and stuff like that. I think a lot of women that happens to, they look at having maybe a lot of sexual experiences with several different men or whoever they want, as a way to say that they are autonomous and they're sexually liberated and stuff like that. And really what they're doing is processing trauma. She talked about that. She talked about, what was the other episode? She talked about, hold on. Yeah, how she's working out now. Now she's back on Instagram. She's working out. And that's what she's on. She's like, I'm about to study to be a personal trainer. I'm trying to do my sports nutrition. She's like really getting into that. And that's something that Virgos, it's so funny because Virgos are always talking about health and being healthy and stuff. And a lot of the times they're not always healthy, but they talk the talk, right? Like, to be healthy, want other people to be healthy, doing healthy things, but not very consistent. That's been my thing. But as I've gone older, I'm more disciplined in, like fasting and body weight exercises. And I'm just more disciplined in that way. um so many things. At one point she said she wanted to shake the girl's shoulders. I said, yeah, see, it's the same thing. And I'm like, it's like we do share the same birthday. She wears all black all the time. I wear all black all the time. I don't know if you noticed, on vacation I had on, every time you saw me I had on black, except for when I had that towel on. There was nothing underneath on the hammock. And neutral colors. I was trying to, I was like, I was looking at my luggage. I was like, it's nothing but black stuff in here. The only thing that wasn't black were a pair of these linen pants that I had, and the sleeves on a bathing suit that I didn't even wear. It's like a bodysuit. I'm a modest diva. So I have like a onesie bathing suit that is like zip up one. Like, I could have my titties out if I want to. I could give you a little Cleveland, Ohio if I wanted to. Shout out to Cleveland. But I zip it all the way up. Y'all saw it when I was diving into the cenote. Y'all saw the my black bathing suit that I had. But I had another one that had like sleeves, and it looked more like a wetsuit. It looked like more, but it had sleeves that have like green and black and red and pink, like flowers on the sleeves. So, but that's it. I wear black all the time, every day. And I started wearing black when I did a seasonal position at Nordstrom in Topanga. Shout out to Nordstrom and Topanga Canyon. And girl, I was in fragrances and cosmetics, and we wear all black. And after that, I just started wearing all black all the time. I wear, when I tell you, my entire wardrobe is black, like everything. Now, every now and again, I'll come down here in a little bit of color. Like, I have like a red, or gray or dark blue or something like that. but 95% of my wardrobe is black. So when I'm looking at Elisabeth and her talking and the things that she's saying, there's so many similarities. Now, fortunately, I've never been a victim of sexual assault or RAPE or kidnapped, as she has shared that she was kidnapped. So a lot of her like trauma around like sexual trauma, I don't have that experience, thankfully, but I do have experiences with men, and the way that she feels about men and the way she feels about herself, I share a lot of those sentiments. Being able to rescue yourself, being able to, I have a tattoo that says save yourself. Nobody is coming to save you. It's you. No man is coming to save you. No man on a horse. None of that romance bullshit matters. And just listening to her talk, I mean, it's like literally like, it's for me, I guess it's confirmation bias, because a lot of the things that she says, I'm like, yes, that's exactly. When she just said, she was like, oh my God, I wish I could shake y'all shoulders. I said, that's how I feel. Like I have that approach. And you listen to the way she talks, she's kind of rough in the way she talks, and the way that I talk to is kind of rough. People have said, Erika, we love the message, but it's kind of rough. But I'm the rough girl. If you want soft, I give you soft. It's coming from, and that's a thing. I'm not like, I don't want to be like violent with, in the way that I speak to you as a woman, as a femme, as gay, as queer. I'm not trying to be mean. It's almost like I say, I use it when people say like, Erika, the way that you talk is kind of harsh. So the way that you talk to women is kind of harsh. It's because it's a sense of urgency, right? It's a sense of urgency. If I'm pulling you, and I've used this analogy before, if I'm pulling you out of a burning building, which is the patriarchy and its malfunctioning systems, and I'm trying to pull you out of there, and you're like, I don't like the way you are talking to me. I'm like, girl, if you don't get your ass up out of this goddamn burning building, come on, sweet babies. Come on. Come on, sweet babies. That's how you want me to talk to you, trying to get you out of a fucking burning building? No, bitch. Get the fuck out. It's urgent. It's urgent, okay? For real. It's urgent. So that's what we on. And then I went to Twitter this morning and I saw that Mena, the bigot, Erika Mena, is going to be on NENE Leakes show. And I said, it's crazy because she would call you a blonde monkey. As soon as Erika Mena gets mad at you, if you're a black woman, she's going to call you a monkey. She loves calling black people monkeys, girl. She do. And you know what? A lot of people would say, like, I thought about Cardi B calling a woman, I think she called a woman a burnt roach or a roach or something like that. And so that always comes up when people start talking about Cardi B, it comes up. She, the way she refers to people that she's in arguments with as roaches, and those women being dark complected. For me, there is a difference between what Erika Mena did and Cardi B. Like, there's a difference. Like, this, it's the same type of woman, right? I think Erika is Puerto Rican. I know that Cardi B is Trini and Dominican, right? I think that's what she is. No. Is she Trini? I think she's Trini and Dominican. I think that's what her ethnic makeup is. There was something about the way that Erika was yelling at Spice. I haven't seen Cardi B do that. I'm sure she has, but I haven't seen it. So for me, there is a difference there I feel like Erika is a bigot. I do. But a lot of their and I feel like she doesn't, because, and I feel like a lot of her issues is because, and what Sin Santana said, all of my life I grew up with men telling me that I was the prize. I was better than the other girls. I came up with the idea that men worship Latinas, right? They worship us. That's what Sin Santana said. So when you get a man like Safari, who Erika believed that she was the prize, when you get him showing affection or attention to a woman that you have been told all your life, those are monkeys, they're ugly, they're whatever you've been told, they're what is it, chongo, calling monkey, saying monkey in Spanish, saying stuff like that. So when you see a man who has been the object of your desire and he's telling you, put you on a pedestal, when you see him showing affection to a woman that you've been told, that's the same way that Evelyn crashed out. Evelyn crashed out the same way because there's an idea that you're on a pedestal. And when you're a woman who centers men and that man puts his eyes on something that you've been told you're better than, you might crash out and you might fall into your bigot bag, right? To me, if I was the grandmother, Safari's mother, and I saw Erika Mena refer to that Jamaican woman as a blue monkey, I would never speak to her again. Dealing with my grandchildren, fine, but I'm not speaking to you because you are a bigot. And if that means that I can't speak to my grandchildren because I don't speak to you because I see that you're a bigot, you have a problem with Black women, then that's a different conversation. But I feel like platforming someone who is out like overtly a bigot, like she does not like Black women. She just different things that Erika, when she was confronted, how she was laughing about it, right? How she thought it was funny, how she thought people were blowing it out of proportion. No, we're calling you out on your actions. Whether you believe they were warranted or not, the way that you talked to Spice and acting like you were that upset because she said your son didn't love you, girl, give me a break. You were really mad because that man that placed you on a pedestal was having feelings and affections and said he cried for Spice and you were mad. He ain't cry over me and I had that man's baby. I had that man's baby. And she thinks that by calling him a waste man, it's going to affect how other people see him. Did it affect how you saw how he treated every other woman on Love and Hip Hop? Did it affect how you saw him? You actually went and married him after he stalked you, and after you rejected him, he stalked you, love bombed you. You got married, and then he made you. You turned around, and when we did a pan out and pan back into Erika after she's been in a relationship with Safari, she looked like a completely different person. They even talked about that on that Good Moms Bad Choices episode with Corinne Steffens, how she talked about that TikTok trend that I told y'all about, where the women post a picture before they have in a relationship and after, and how they look like they've come out of a blender, girl. They look like they came out of a food processor. And that's how Safari had her looking. So when somebody turned around and he said he had affection for Spice, he was crying about Spice. That's the first thing she brought up. That man didn't, he was crying about you. He didn't cry about me. I've been told all my life that you bitches like you are monkeys. How could a motherfucking Black man like another Black woman or give her props? Another Jamaican man give Spice her props and be sad because she's going through a health crisis, and you got mad about that and you crashed out. You claim it was because of your son. You scapegoated your son because you would look like a fucking idiot crashing out over a man the way you did. But it was about Safari. That was not about her child. And so when I hear that, like Erika Mena going to be on NENE Leakes podcast, I think about all of those things. Like, girl, that woman would call you all kind of monkeys if she felt that you were, able to compete with her for the attention of men. I don't get it. I'm going to read some of the comments. It says, the idea of cancellation will never work on someone who society at large views as beautiful and or desirable, no matter how despicable they are. Nah, as a Black woman, you don't give a colorist racist a platform. Calling a Black woman a monkey with accompanying sounds, nah. Like she was really like, ooh, 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 ooh. She was doing that. So you don't get to come on stage with me. And I bet you NENE won't ask her about it. I bet you she won't ask her about it. I bet you NENE doesn't ask her about her bigotry. She's not. So let's go to the blog. So
I sponsor the blog.
That's what I was talking about today. That's what I've been talking about. Also, I want to say this, and this is all I have to say about the Laverne Cox situation. It was overboard. It was overboard. It was crazy as fuck to be like, in your past, you dated someone who would have not cared if somebody killed you, who was not in alignment with your politics, not in alignment with your humanity. You have dated someone. We have all dated someone. We have all been in relationship with someone who wasn't an ally to us. Most men are not allies to women. And the things that women ignore when they are entering in relationships with men, all the time, all the time, women ignore things, right? Her being in a relationship with a white, blue-eyed, MAGA, Trump, whatever supporter in the past, but his issues, when the issues started getting too much, he broke up with him or whatever. I don't know the entire story. But to say in your past, you're on stage, you're telling us that in your past, you've dated a man who, by all intents and purposes, would not be an ally or an accomplice to your existence. He's actually in direct opposition to your existence. Most men are. Most men are, whatever their politics are. A lot of the black men that y'all date don't have the right politics. They're not allies to women, and you still choose them. You still date them. They're men who have questionable characters. You still date them. And for them to pull Laverne Cox and be like, come to the front. We about to railroad you about your dating choice and the way that you spoke about it. I didn't like it. I thought it was weird as fuck. And I felt like it was like, let's let's slap her for a previous choice that she made. And she's talking about it and telling her story. Let me tell you about the time I dated he was beautiful, we were in love, but he was a Trump supporting MAGA, maggot, whatever, red hat wearing, Target uniform wearing, tiki torch carrying, in direct opposition to her existence. Most men are in direct opposition to your existence, no matter their politics. And most men aren't allies to women. So are we going to pull all the women to the front who have made a fucked up choice in a partner who is in direct opposition to their existence and browbeat them? I thought it was, when I was watching that thing, I was like, first of all, it's a lot. And to pull her, like, y'all act like she's dating the person today. This was something in her past, and y'all are browbeating this woman for dating somebody who is in direct opposition to her existence. Meanwhile, every single one of you have dated a man in direct opposition to your existence. Hey, girl. Hey, boo. We can't. Come to the front so we can browbeat you about your dating choice. Come on. Come to the front so we can browbeat you on a panel. What? Girl, I heard T.S. Madison say, I would have cussed all you bitches out. Sure would have. Dominique said she would have closed her laptop. Girl, y'all not going to talk to me like this over a dating choice. And like, be that, like, I understand that Hope is an activist and I understand that. But time and time again, we have seen Black men be in opposition to a woman's existence. Every day we see them in digital spaces speak up for men who are violent towards women, direct opposition to your existence, making excuses for men beating women, kicking women, stepping on women, hitting women in the face with a skateboard, pushing women on railroad tracks. Most men are in direct opposition of your existence. So let's bring the men that you've chosen to the front, and let's talk about them, and let's browbeat you for making that choice when your self-esteem wasn't the best, when you felt like that was your only option, when you were lonely. Let's bring them to the front. Come on. And that woman who said that her pussy was it was more ethical because she was getting paid to fuck MAGA men, girl. That doesn't even make sense to me. What the fuck are you talking about? I thought it was a good panel. Like I think conversations about how we choose the people we spend time with when we find out that their politics are in opposition to yours. Most men are not allies to women, y'all. Most men are not allies to women. Your oppressor is in direct opposition to your existence. Come to the front. Everybody needs to step a foot. We're gonna play this game where everybody's standing in a line. Take one step forward if you dated a man who is in direct opposition of your existence. Everybody is taking a step. Every one of y'all is taking a step. Every one of y'all is taking a step. Take a step. Take a step. Take another step forward if you dated a man whose politics were in opposition to yours. People is taking a step. Everybody, take a step. Take another step forward if you dated a man with questionable character. You're not sure if he's a good person or not. You're not really sure. Take a step. Take a step forward if you took some dick you knew you shouldn't have taken. Everybody take a step. You're not going to browbeat me for making a choice in partnering, and especially as a trans woman, when you really, unfortunately, have to take what you can get. Who accepts you? Who's not going to be ashamed of you? Who's going to be, walk in public with you? Who's not just using you as a plaything? Come on. I just thought it was weird. I was like, I don't know, I just thought it was weird, the energy that she was getting as if she was in relationship with the person today. And she's not, from my understanding, correct me if I'm wrong, but she's not in relationship with this person. She was talking about and promoting a stand-up. She's doing some stand-up or something. And she's like, girl, let me tell you about the time. When you come to my show, I'm going to tell you about the time I was in love with a Trump supporter. Blue eye, blonde hair. Oh my God, he was beautiful, girl. Let me tell you about the time. And then everybody's like, girl, no, what you dated a man who's in direct opposition to your very existence? So have you. Girl, you wouldn't have been able, girl. I just didn't like that she was just sitting there. And shout out to Laverne Cox for even doing that. Like, her reach and influence, and for her to sit there and listen to people like tell her that you dated a man and my pussy is more ethical than yours. Girl, I said, what the fuck? I don't know. Anyways, that's how I felt about it. Y'all tell me how you felt about the Laverne Cox. I just thought it was overboard. I thought it was overboard, and I thought it almost seemed like we have an opportunity to hold somebody accountable for dating somebody whose politics didn't align even with their existence, and you dated them. All of us have. And that's what I kept thinking. I'm like, all of us have. And shout out to Dominique Morgan. She said it too. I actually let me bring up her video. Hopefully I can find it, because she's been making a lot of videos. But so she said, let me find the post where she was talking about Laverne. Girl, I wish I could find it. And it was so good, because she basically said, how many times have you been with a man? How many times have you been with a man and it went against your existence? It went against what you stand for. How many times have you gone through that? Girl, I wish I can find it. I'm too far down. I'm looking at the titles of it, and I'm sure I've passed it. Maybe this is it. White men with trans femmes. Hold on. Let me go back up here. Here.
So I have been tagged oodles of times in the video that Laverne posted about.
Oh shit! God damn it!
Someone dating this MAGA voting
This is it.
police officer.
I think this is it. We're gonna listen.
That I believe is about a bigger kind of story piece that she's doing, and I just want to start this off by saying y'all probably are not going to live for my response, and you're absolutely not going to get from me what I think some people want. Not everyone. Some people want. First of all, the same belief I have for girls in regards to anything that is associated with me, I'm going to do my best to have for other girls, especially Black girls. If I really had an issue with anything that any of my people said, I would reach out to them first. Y'all wouldn't know first. If y'all know first about something that I have an issue with someone, I don't really care about that relationship. Secondly, I think there is a perception that because the world decides that there are certain people who are seen as colleagues or in the same class of people, that we all have those type of relationships. We don't. And I always try to be really thoughtful about saying the difference between, oh, I know them, we've spoken before, we've been in Instagram messages, or we've texted, or we're friendly, or we're friends. I think within trans community, we use the term sister a lot. I think I have learned that that's just an exchange. It's not really a thought through statement. It is a colloquial. Bitch, y'all know my meds ain't hit. That being said,
Colloquialism.
so I just I wanted to lay out. We've started with me explaining the things, relationship, and me and Laverne are friendly, but we're friendly enough to where if I really wanted to say something in regards to something she said, I would do my due diligence to reach out to her before I brought it to social media, because I just think that's how I move. That being said, at first I was like, "Ooh, girl, take this down." Then, as I slept on it last night, I want her to keep it up, and I'm glad she posted it. And this is why. It's messy. It is complicated. It is a nuanced conversation. It is causing people to look at her in a certain way or ask questions. And it's a level of being personal and being authentic and being messy and not having to be perfect and not having to give us a version of herself that
Isn't
is
real.
wrapped in PR,
Yep.
that I really desire from
Yeah.
Laverne.
Yeah.
As a icon within our community, I feel like, as someone who's been in rooms with her, I don't know her as much as I would like to know her. And what I have learned being in these spaces, and not as big a spaces as she's been in, but being in spaces, is that a quick way to protect yourself is by not giving people all of you and giving people a version of you that allows you to do what you need to do, but doesn't position you to have to be under attack, to fight for your name and your integrity and your reputation. And so I understand the why, but as a community member, as someone who tries to figure out how I move with authenticity, I'm excited. I appreciate that. 3, the truth of the matter is, for most marginalized people, but in this instance for Black trans women, usually to get access to something the world tells you you're supposed to have just by your existence as a human being, where we have to compromise and trade on the very needs we may deserve to have as a human being. And what I mean by that is, to be a Black woman in this world, a Black trans woman in this world, there's so much of our existence connected to being loved and cared about. And you can have the career, you can have the houses, you can have all the things, but you ain't got no man. What does that mean? Most people who have a man you're compromising something in your value system to be with him.
Ooh.
Or you've adapted your value system to align with his to where it doesn't feel like you're compromising. And there may be some of y'all who haven't done that at all. Congratulations. But more often than not, I see either the woman evolves to align to where there doesn't feel like there's a cognitive dissonance between how they move and what they believe in and the person that they are with, or they allow the dissonance to exist and they've compartmentalized it and they're focused on the benefit more than what it detracts from. And I think that says that in this example here. Even the randomest hookup, I've reached a point where there are some days that I don't want to ask you questions because if I know if I get the answer, I can't even get hunched on. Because there'll be a man online who will spend his whole day talking about he loves trans women who will tell us that he voted for Trump. On every dating profile I have, there are men in MAGA hats who are in your inbox. And when you ask them, what do we have in common? They are perplexed and they don't understand the difference. Also, the pandemic was ugly. I was back hunting on my ex-husband in the pandemic because I was like, if the world is ending, I might as well be with the devil I know. None of these are excuses. These are my thoughts. Y'all ask for my thoughts. I can't excuse anything because that's a grown-ass woman. Okay? I just want to say that. Next, it is also a part of how tokenism and elitism will put us in spaces where
smart people,
to survive and to try to protect ourselves, even to protect ourselves from our own community, because being a Black trans femme is like sometimes being a piece of meat in waters with piranhas. And piranhas that don't even know they're piranhas. They're piranhas because of how the world has treated them. And then they become like tools of that same system. So they don't even realize sometimes.
I just love a smart
being
person.
Tools, and you end up existing in this kind of separate world. And it's very odd to live separately from a community that you will be a face of. That's gaggy. And I know a lot of girls who live that way. Laverne is just telling y'all. And that is why I'm like, even though I listened to it and I was like gagged, even though my instinct was like, oh girl, take this down. I saw a lot of people sharing that same perspective. I would rather a messy, free version of Laverne amongst us
than her be lying.
The shiny
lie.
Gaultier red carpet Laverne that I don't feel like I can touch, because I'm excited to I want to exist in community with her. And I think, and as someone who, even in the difficulty of how community has existed, I believe my life is better because I exist more in community than not. And Laverne deserves a full life as a Black trans woman in her 50s. And a Black trans woman in her 50s also has a different experience. Y'all also love to turn the girls into these martyrs and these angels. A Black trans woman in her 50s has lived a different life than the 23-year-old abolitionist who may have the poster on the wall. And I'm not saying that's right. I'm saying, do we want to love each other or do we want to love perfect versions of each other?
Perfect.
Because a lot of y'all, I've been in rooms with these girls. Y'all love curated versions of these girls. And that's why you never see them with their facade off. And the girls that y'all do, the T.S. Madisons of the world, y'all rip and chew them apart.
For telling the truth.
So either we're going to get a Barbie doll Laverne Cox or we're going to get the human Laverne Cox. And I think we deserve, and she deserves,
the human
to be the human version of herself, which means it might be messy and some shit that we didn't want to hear.
Yep.
But I like that. So I have been
I love this. I love this. I love the perspective. I love the perspective. Like I said, all of us, and if you are in a relationship with a man, you have compromised yourself in a way. You can't argue with that. You really can't. Nobody can. Because I just talked about yesterday how, because it's so male centered, and you don't think trans women are male centered? What the first thing y'all be throwing at each other's is pussies and dicks when it in arguments with cis women. That's the first thing. It'd be about a man. It'd be about whether or not a man could get you or you could get a man, the man or whatever. It's about a man. And I've said it 1,000 times that I think the relationship between cis and trans women, it will heal when the man is no longer, when the cis het man is no longer the center. My little battery thing is going off. Hold on. So I thought that was a good perspective because I felt like that. I was just like, how in the world is anybody like railroading her for compromising herself in a relationship? Yeah, it's like the extreme, right? Because some people you're just like, you know, their politics, like they have a misogynist, a man who is a misogynist, a man who is a patriarch, a man who's an agent of the patriarchy. They're a woman who is an agent of the patriarchy. They're in opposition to your existence. Partnering with your oppressor is in direct opposition of your existence. All of us have. All of us have compromised ourselves for a man. All of us. Take one step forward. So browbeating Laverne Cox for compromising herself for a man, while it was like extreme, like a MAGA, like, ooh, like girl. Ooh. But you was with somebody who didn't, you compromised yourself. You was kissing somebody who was missing all their teeth on the side. I don't know if she ate them or what. What did Kim say about NENE? She was missing this whole side. Look like, I don't know if she ate her teeth. That was so funny when she said that. But shout out to Dominique Morgan. I felt like that was a great like opinion about it because we have all compromised ourselves. And I felt like bringing Laverne, and like, although she was a great sport about it, and just like Dominique said, a 50-year-old trans woman, over 50, in her 50s. I don't know how old Laverne Cox is. I imagine her maybe about 54, maybe. Hey Siri. How old? Hey Siri. Hey Siri. Oh my God, it's not working. Siri. How old is Laverne Cox?
Laverne Cox is 53 years old.
Okay, she just turned 53 in May. I said around 54. Yeah. So she's had a whole different experience. And then also, I think there's a piece of this because the way that she was emoting when talking about this blonde hair, blue eyed, oh God, you know? And I think people are like, ugh. But don't act like y'all don't, your eyes don't, some of your eyes get with stars and sparklies when there's white, there's a proximity to whiteness, right? This thing where we are rich white women, right? And the way that she was talking about him, a lot of people were like, ew. But girl, let's not act like there are some people who see white people and they're like, oh my God. So I agree with the girls. I didn't agree with the browbeating. I was just like, this is too much. She was a good sport about it. And with her, like I said, with her reach and who Laverne Cox is, like I don't know if Olay like really, I don't know if she's been able to process like who Laverne Cox is, who even Hope Giselle are, like who these women are, and who Laverne Cox is, like, and the spaces and the roads that she has opened, right? And I didn't see the beginning. I didn't see the very beginning. I don't know if the foundation to edify Laverne Cox was there because it was like it felt like, ooh, we got this public facing trans woman and we're able to hold her accountable, but not even thinking about like the roads she's opened to even like be able to come out and be on a stage and say, this is, I'm a black trans woman and I was in a relationship with a white Trump supporter. For her to even be able to say that publicly, and then everybody now like jumping on her and then mad at her for the way that she described it, when y'all don't be around here comparing yourselves to white women. So it's not uncommon for her to be like, oh my God, he was white and blue eyes, and oh my God, he was blonde and beautiful. We got to be honest. And we also have to be honest about compromising ourselves to be in relationships with men. Every single woman who has ever been in a relationship with a straight presenting man has compromised herself. It is by design. We just talked about it yesterday. It's by design. Okay, I gotta go because we gotta make another video. That's how I feel about the situation with Laverne Cox. Shout out to Corinne Steffens, Elizabeth Ovesene. Shout out to who else did we talk about? Oh, Erika, Mena, get your bigot ass out of here. NENE, I don't know what NENE is doing. She just interviewed Trick Daddy. I think NENE is just interviewing reality people. That's what it looks like to me. People on reality shows. So that's what it seems like to me. Did she have Cheyenne Bryant on her show? I don't know if she had her on there yet. So they can talk about men. Oh, she had T.S. Madison on there. T.S. Madison is more than just a reality star. But yeah, I don't know what NENE is going for. Trick Daddy, I don't know what is there to talk about with Trick Daddy. I mean, everybody has a story, and I guess you can interview people, but I don't understand the Erika Mena thing. So anyways, y'all let me know what y'all think. Let's get down in the comments, share your perspectives, be respectful, and if I see any foolishness, I'm gonna cut it up. I'm gonna break it up. All right, take care of each other, protect your energy. Let's get down in the comments. Peace. Okay, now